In this movie, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a historical study on the ancient city of Philippi. And I'm in my Logos software right now. And the first thing I want to demonstrate is how to use a Bible dictionary. By coming over to my library, I can type in Bible dictionary, and several come up. Just start with the Lexham Bible Dictionary. And I already have Philippi searched here. A lot of important information, some overview, cultural influence, local religion, commercial influence, and I took several notes, as you can see from this article from the Lexham Bible Dictionary. Another helpful dictionary is the Easton Biblical Dictionary, Easton's Bible Dictionary. Not quite as much information, but a few helpful points that I didn't pick up from the Lexham Bible Dictionary, which I also detailed over here as well. And there's many more Bible dictionaries which can be used, but even between these two we find quite a sizable list of information. Another way to search for information on a historical city like Philippi is by searching by topic directly from your Bible. If I open up my ESV Bible, I'm here in Acts chapter 16, and in Acts chapter 16 it tells the story of how Paul came into Philippi, and by finding the city of Philippi and just right-clicking on it, I come down to this little icon and it says Philippi Place, and over here we see some of the same resources which I used before, but also some different ones as well. And just by clicking on one of these I can demonstrate. This is nice because it has another article, but it also has a picture of the ruins of Philippi and just a little bit more information to be accessed that way. Sometimes it's nice to get a visual of the geographic location of a city, and Logos has some helpful tools for that. Coming back to the library, by searching Atlas, we find this helpful resource, which takes us to the biblical world, and we can see Philippi pops right up here. Just by zooming in, you get to look at a little bit more of the layout of the land. But also by clicking on Philippi, it will take us to this page here, and down at the bottom we're given the geographic location of Philippi, and just by clicking on that it redirects us to Google Maps. And here I have on Google Maps, the red pointer pulled up is the location of ancient Philippi, with more geographic detail than sometimes is available even through the Logos maps. Another helpful feature that Logos offers is the Bible timelines. Coming up here we can see the Bible visual timeline especially is helpful for the life of Paul. And when this loads up here, this is the life of Paul. It begins with his birth and goes through his conversion. And as we look through this quickly, we find Paul coming into Philippi on his second missionary journey. So we see in Philippi, Paul casts out a spirit from a slave girl and then is in prison. The Philippian jailer is converted, and it just kind of is a nice way to put Paul's journey to Philippi in context of Paul's entire life. Another helpful resource outside of Logos is Google Books. Google Books can be found at books.google.com, and even simply by Googling the word Philippi, we come up with some excellent books. This one is particularly helpful, Philippi at the time of Paul and after his death, and some of this is available to us. Some of it gives us some historical background, talks about the Via Ignatia, just goes through some historical background in more detail than what might be available elsewhere. It also summarizes some of the biblical account and talks about some of the locations of where Paul did his ministry. Here at the Lancaster Bible College Library portal, we'll also find quite a few resources simply by typing in the word Philippi in the search bar and selecting search. We come up with several options, and this one at the top is really perhaps the most relevant. Philippi, How Christianity Began in Europe. Goes over the overview. Perhaps more helpful than using the library to look for books, though, is to use it to look for articles. And by selecting articles and databases, this leads us to a tremendous number of resources. And I was just using the Britannica Encyclopedia. And even just by searching Philippi, the Britannica Encyclopedia, we come up with Philippi, Greece is our second option, and that's the one we want, obviously. And just here's a nice summary of a lot of the information that we've gleaned from other resources, but also a nice picture, which we haven't seen yet, of a better look at the ruins of Philippi. And of course, throughout these databases, there's a great deal more which can be found. Thanks to the tremendous pool of resources available through Logos, as well as Google Books and the Lancaster Bible College Library, there is great opportunity to glean a lot of information about Philippi, both ancient and modern.